Hey y'all, thanks for coming back to watch another video. Today we're going to talk about shooting style. So if you'll stick through the intro, we'll get this video going. Let's go.
There I was, back in the wild again.
Okay y'all, I hope you stuck through the intro. I want to talk about shooting style. So I covered form in the last video quite a bit. Of course, I got something wrong, so we're going to clear that up. I said this was gap. This is not gap. Gap is actually an aiming style. It is not a hook style or draw style, anything like that. It's all about aiming. This is called string walking or the crawl. So instead of shooting right under your nock, you will string walk down to get a different hook on your string. Well, I'm going to talk about shooting style. And when I first started shooting traditional archery, I didn't have a clue. Now, I knew about form, but I didn't know about shooting styles. And when I went to the 3D range for the first time, traditional archery shoot, I noticed right away that the people were using different types of aiming styles. Well, I didn't have a clue. I was thinking just instinctive. So I was just watching other people and trying what they were doing. And at one point, there was a fella who asked me if I was doing the Howard Hill style. And I didn't know who Howard Hill was. I didn't have a clue about any of traditional archery. So I said, yeah, but I didn't know. And what it was is I was shooting my longbow that's 65 pounds at 28 inches. And so when I would draw back to anchor, that thing was so heavy, I would just release it right away. I wasn't settling, but I was actually shooting better by doing that. And I think that's why that guy asked me that. And I was doing it and not even realizing it, right? But I wasn't doing it for the right reasons. So I've decided to actually use the Howard Hill style of shooting. And there's a lot of different variants of his style. But I want to try to get it as close to the way he did it as I can. And I'm making mistakes left and right, and I'm watching my own videos and trying to figure out where I'm going wrong. But there are so many different shooting styles out there that it's hard to pick the one you want or know which one to pick. So we went over form in my last archery video. So once you've developed your form up close, get close to your target when you're practicing your form. Don't try to shoot from a long distance. I wouldn't go past 5 yards because you're trying to build muscle memory. And if you're worried about distance, you can't focus 100% on your form. So scoot in. Don't be afraid to get right up on your target and practice your form. And then once you get your form dialed in, you're going to figure out what kind of shooting style. Now there's a lot, and the one I chose is the Howard Hill, and most everybody knows about it. I shoot split finger, and when I draw my bow, I draw it from down here. I'm not standing straight up. I'm bent over just a little bit, and I'm going to lean my head in just a little bit, and I'm going to swing up and draw, hit anchor, and release. Now you're going to see other guys that are going to actually start with their bow arm out, and they're going to draw back from there, and everything is going to be straight. All this will be straight. Their elbow will be cocked up just a little bit, but they're drawing back straight up and down. They're not swinging up, okay? They're not holding here at an angle and drawing back, which that's a style too. Some I've seen guys in like tournament shooting, and that's where you're going to really see a lot of different shooting styles if you watch videos on tournament shooting. I've seen guys draw back and then come in, draw to here, finish like this. And I've even recently noticed a guy that puts his leg, he doesn't stand with his feet as wide as his shoulders. He actually puts a leg behind him and shoots. And so there's so many different styles to choose from. The main thing is to pick one that you're comfortable with. Are you going to aim down the arrow? Are you going to use what's called gap shooting, where you just look at the tip of your arrow, judge the distance between your target and the tip, and make those adjustments at different ranges, different distance? You can do instinctive, where you just concentrate on the target. Let's say that's the target, this leaf, and you're just going to stare at that leaf. You're going to try to burn a hole right through it with your Superman vision, right? You're just going to focus on that, and then you're going to draw, and you're just going to look at the leaf, and you're going to release. That's instinctive. And all these styles you want to try up close too. So once you get your form at 5 yards, start shooting your shooting style at 5 yards. And once you start grouping your arrows, start scooting back just a yard at a time. Don't push yourself. Don't put a lot of distance between you and the target. Start up close so that you're hitting your target. You're building confidence. You're telling yourself and your brain, everything's good. I'm getting better. I can start scooting back. And when you start scooting back, if you start missing or your group gets sloppy, scoot back up. You can shoot up close for a whole year and just improve your shooting. It will just make you better shooting up close. Most traditional archery hunters will try to keep their shots within 15 yards, a lot of them closer than that. Now, where I'm at, and I plan on doing some hunting this fall, I'm going to have about a anywhere from a 14 to 10 yard shot. That's if I'm lucky. But it should be somewhere in there because there's a big oak tree right here that I'm going to hunt from, and the deer will come right into my little camp right here. So I'll have a pretty decent shot if I get the opportunity to hunt here. If not, I have other places to hunt that are going to be the same thing. It's going to be up close, 10 to 15 yards. So I'm set up at 10 yards right now, and I'm just going to shoot some arrows and talk about different styles and why I chose the one I chose. To me, it's more relaxing. To me, I don't want to have to think about the follow through with my hand. I don't want to think about the arrow point. I'm not trying to focus on a whole lot of things at one time. I want to just look at the target, use my form for accuracy. Okay, so if I'm shooting the exact same way every time, my form is on key every time, no matter what shooting style I use. It does not matter what style you use because form is the most important. And once you get the muscle memory and you get your form established, your shooting style will follow right into that with practice, of course. So, what we'll do is we'll do a couple shots like Howard Hill would do it, and then I'm going to try some different shooting styles and see what happens. I just want you guys to know that it doesn't matter. Just pick a style and start using it. Okay, so here we go. Okay, cold shot too. This is my first shot. I just set all this up, and we're taking a cold shot here. Let's see what happens. Low, way low. All right, so not a good cold shot. Let's see if we can correct on the second shot. A little bit higher. We got a little bit higher. Let's go for another one. I got old Vine over here. catching my bow. We're gonna have to chop that down. All right, so that one's a little high, but you can see progressively I moved up. Each shot went up. I didn't think about it. I wasn't aiming. It just happened because my eye to my brain was calculating all the distance and the hip placement, right? And just automatically told me, don't let go, don't let go, don't let go. Okay? Don't be afraid to miss. You can buy arrows on Amazon pretty cheap for practice. So don't be afraid to miss. However you feel like doing it. So my buddy Danny said, you know, you should run you a stick across them tripods to hang your bow on. That's a good idea, Dan. So that's what I did. I don't know if you guys will be able to tell up in the right hand corner exactly where I'm hitting that target, but I also do have a couple other targets set up out here to just randomly shoot at that are at slightly different ranges and different angles. And so when you're practicing, you want to do that. You want to shoot from different ranges and from different angles because it will help improve your quick judgment when it's time to hunt. When you're out there hunting and your prey comes up and you know maybe it's not in the perfect position for you, well you have to practice different positions so you'll be ready to take the shot when you need to. Now I'm going to lean over and I'm going to do it more the way I normally do it and see if I can be a little bit more accurate. To the left quite a bit. I shot my arrow a while ago. Blew the fletchings right off of it. I'm all over, left and right. Way high. So this is why you got to practice. And also this is why you want to move up close. You know, this is the first time I've just come out and set up at 10 yards. I'm usually about 6 or 7 yards. So then we're gonna do some different kind of shooting here, different style. And I've never done this, never aimed down my arrow. I don't have a clue. Shoot, we're gonna shoot straight up and down. We're gonna hold the bow pretty much straight. And I'm gonna try to aim down the arrow and see if I can be any more accurate. Let's see. All right, not too bad. I don't know if I was actually aiming down the arrow or if I was using what's called a split vision. I don't know because I automatically want to stare at the target, but I tried to use my peripheral to actually look at the arrow this time and see where the tip was pointing. Oh no, not bad. I don't know, man. It's different. It's different. I mean, it's not hard. Doesn't seem that hard, really. But there's a lot more going on in the brain. I'll tell you that. I'm thinking a lot more, trying to judge that arc a little bit from the tip of the arrow. But I'm not shooting gap. I'm not actually paying attention to where the tip of my arrow is. And that's shooting gap. And that's probably, what I need to do with this. Okay. And it's also good to learn different shooting styles because you might not be able to do a really fast and instinctive style shooting when you're hunting. You might have to wait, have your bow at the ready, and draw and actually take aim to get a shot. Not every shot is going to be open for instinctive shooting. Not every shot is going to be open for gap shooting. I mean, so you should learn as many different styles as you can, but focus on just one at first. Let's try this again. Tournament shooting. Oh boy, drew back and then come in. I watch a lot of that tournament shooting. All right, I'm seeing where my arrow's at. And the tip of it is it's about 8 or 10 inches. 8 to 10 inches low. So basically, if I put the tip of the arrow at the bottom of that 10 ring, it's hitting where that first arrow hit. Those other two shots, I was off left and right. And that's because I was trying to get that arrow tip in the exact same spot. And I wasn't doing it right, obviously. All right, so I'm not sure really how to do a whole lot of other styles of shooting. The best thing to do is just watch a lot of archery videos. You're going to see so many different styles. It's not even funny. Practice as many as you can, as many as you want, or pick one and stick with it. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. But I'm going to go ahead and go back to my Howard Hill style because that's what I need to practice. I just wanted to show you guys that you can use different styles and still be accurate. It don't matter. Just like with your form, it doesn't really matter how you do it. It only matters that you do that the exact same way every time. Muscle memory is really important when it comes to archery. Now, when I was shooting a compound bow, everything's straight. You shoot everything straight, okay? It's all straight. You don't want to be leaning over. You just everything needs to be on the level and straight. With traditional archery, way you have a lot more room for, well, in the compound world it would be called mistakes. But in the trad world, I've noticed that it's not mistakes, it's style. So do it however you want. Okay. I like the Howard Hill style because it's simple, it's easy. You don't have to put much thought into it. Once you get your form down, everything will just kind of fall into place. The more you practice, the more accurate you're going to get. You just want to focus on your target. Don't worry about where your arrow's at. You'll see it, but don't worry about it. Kind of try to just look past it. And you know what I'm talking about. Just look right past your arrow. When you hit anchor, you release. The follow through from your release, that's up to you. It don't matter. You can stay here, you can slide back, you can do this. And when when people release and they have this follow through where their hand comes back, or they pull their hand comes back and they slide it, that's because they're doing a pull through, right? They're getting to anchor and then they pull through on the release. So when they let go, they keep pulling. All right, and that has to do with your back muscles. I don't release that way. I come in, I lock, and then I just let my fingers relax. Relax your hand, and your fingers will just let go. And you just put them in a group like that. Let's go. Now, you guys will probably never see me do a 20-yard shot because I don't ever plan on taking a 20-yard shot. And besides that, right here in my little shooting range, for me to get 20 yards, I'm going to have to shoot through some trees to hit my targets. So 10 to 12 yards is probably about as far as I'll shoot out here. Maybe 15, because I can see back at 15. There's just a couple little trees in the way right here. But we're just working on 10 yards for now. Way off. I seen that when I let it go too. My eye was wandering, so I wasn't looking at one spot. I looked at my spot, but then it opened up to the whole target. So you got to stay focused. Did it again. So I'm thinking about it. I got to quit thinking about it. Shot to the right. Dang it. That's all right though. We're just practicing. Some of y'all might be wondering why I have arrows in my quiver and I'm not shooting them out of my quiver. And the reason I'm doing that is so I'll be used to the weight. When I hunt with this, it's going to have all these arrows in it when I hunt with it. And so I want it set up the way I'm going to use it when I'm hunting. I don't want it set up light or too heavy. I want it just like I'm going to use it. I really like this little bow. It's a good little bow. Cheap, Deer Seeker Outdoor. 45 pounds at 28 inches. My arrows weigh 560 grains with the 100 grain tip on it. I mean, I'm right in there. I'm ready to hunt. Put a broadhead on there. Let's go. Drill it. I'm actually aiming for the little dots this time, you guys. And I only hit one that I was aiming at. So I was aiming here the first time and here the second time and the third time. And I'm off. And I'll be honest, I'm nervous about shooting at this range. I'm not really that comfortable at shooting at this range, but I'm not going to let it affect me. I'm just going to keep practicing and keep shooting. And I'll get exactly where I want it. Eventually, I'm going to shoot for the little dot down below the big target in the center. All right, so my arrow just popped off my shelf. I want to talk about that since it happened. So when you get your hook on your string, make sure that you kind of pull against the string. It'll roll that string. When it rolls that string, it will push this arrow up on your shelf. So that's a good way to tell if you have a good hook, if your arrow is staying on the shelf. If it's not staying on the shelf, adjust your hook so that you're rolling the string when you draw. I almost forgot what dot I was going to aim at, so I just kind of flung that one. Just like that. That last shot was a miss, but that second shot, dead center bullseye. Well, not dead center. Looks like it's off about a quarter of an inch from dead center, but pretty dang close. That's what I'm looking for right there, yo. Now, I've been watching a lot of new guys shooting too. A lot of new guys. And one guy, he's not a new guy. His channel's pretty good. OZARK'S Traditional. OZARK'S Traditional. That channel you guys need to check out. That guy can break it down and explain it to you like nobody else I've watched so far. I really like the way he breaks it down and explains everything to you. Now, I've been watching some newer guys so I can actually watch them advance and learn as they go. I think that's the greatest thing, watching somebody learn something. And I'm learning myself, right? I'm learning too. Let me see. Let's shoot at the rabbit. Got a rabbit target out there. Let's see if we can get a kill on this rabbit. Not where I was aiming, but it's definitely gonna make rabbit stew. Ooh, missed. Complete miss. Let's slow down a little bit. Let's just focus a little bit better. Let's go for the heart shot. Lunged it. So that's not too bad. First shot was a winner. First shot was a winner. I would have got dinner. Second shot, over it. If I had a friend, I definitely would have got the friend. Third shot, dinner. You know, that's another thing. Make you some targets. Set up a lot of targets. And if you're making your own, you know, I got a video that shows you how to make them real cheap. You make your own, and you can just have targets everywhere. Just sitting everywhere, up in the brush, whatever. Now, I got one of my homemade stump targets underneath my big target, and it's back just a couple more feet. So let's see if we can hit the little red dot on that stump target. Close, but no cigar. Close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, right? Let's go. So I'm hitting the target, but I'm not hitting where I want on the target. Ooh, way high on that one. These arrows aren't going to be too easy to get out either. They pull out pretty easy. Yeah, go get you some sandbags and some old clothes or an old cushion off of a couch. Anything like that to stop an arrow. Okay, I'm gonna shoot 3 arrows. Big target, stump target, rabbit target. Boom, 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 just like that. We'll start with the big one first. Shooting way low. Let's go for the stump target. Now let's shoot the rabbit. Got a good shot on that rabbit. Bad shot on the big target. Good shot on the rabbit. Decent shot on the stump target. I'm only about 1.5 inches from the red dot. That's a quarter size. My little tiny target on that stump is literally the size of a quarter. And I did it on purpose. Same way with this rabbit. Little heart shot is the size of a quarter, because everybody knows aim small, hit small. Let's go. So let's try it again. Mixing it up. Every shot's a little bit different range, so I have to adjust every shot. I'm going to start with the rabbit target this time, go to the big target, then switch down to the stump target. Let's go. Missed it. Rabbit target, miss. Big target, bullseye, dead center. I didn't hit the bullseye, but I did knock over the target, so probably get the little stuffed animal, not the big one. Let's go. Stump target. Off to the right. Now I gotta say, that Howard Hill style, I'm not doing it exactly right, because I should have my quiver on my back, right? And pulling my knocks, or pulling my arrows out from the nock, putting it on my bow, attach, shoot. Now that's for shooting real fast, and I think I can still do it pretty quick with the quiver. The reason it's faster when Howard Hill does it, and why he wears his quiver on his shoulder, is because after his release, he's right here and can grab another arrow, bring it down, knock it, and shoot. So I'll be slower because I got to go from here down to here and then to my bow. But let's try it. I've never tried really shooting real fast. So we're going to shoot at the big target. I'm just going to aim for the center, but we're going to try to shoot fast. Here we go. Arrow popped off. Last shot counted. Dang. I'm going to do that again. I want to try that again. I want to practice doing that real fast like that. I don't see how it would really help in a hunting scenario unless your miss doesn't spook whatever you're shooting at. If your miss doesn't spook what you're shooting at, being able to shoot real fast like that could definitely benefit an archer, being able to shoot real fast. But technically, I don't think you're going to be able to get a second shot off real fast like that, because arrows make a lot of noise when they miss. Just saying. I had to plug my charger back up to my phone. Okay, so let me take this off. We're going to do speed shooting again. Having a hard time remembering to grab that knock. So when Howard Hill does it, I think he actually goes between the string and the bow. Let me try that. Let me try when I draw my arrow. But you know, when you're pulling from back here, if you have your bow angled right, you're going to come up, put your arrow. Let's just simulate it like this. I'm going to draw out, slide my arrow through here, knock it. That can't be right. That ain't right. My arrow's here. I'm going to draw my arrow, come down, knock. Yeah, that's how he does it. Way low. I think I heard my tip was loose. I think I heard my tip rattle. You need to make sure you check your tips too all the time. I forget a lot. Well, that's a handy dandy bow hanger. I'm glad my buddy Dan told me about that. You know, I never even thought about doing it that way. It's always good to have friends looking out for you. Thanks, Herbert T Outdoors. You guys go check his channel out. He's doing challenges on all kinds of camping stuff. He's got a good channel. All right, let's send 3 into the rabbit. Fast shoot on the rabbit. That rabbit gives me a little bit of target panic, just a little bit. Didn't grab my arrow properly. And all over the rabbit. Second shot, first shot and second shot was good though, even though it wasn't where I was aiming. First shot's a head shot. Second shot was a lung shot. Last shot, no good. Let's try the rabbit again. This time I'm going to try to grab my arrows proper, Howard Hill style. Missed it. I knew I missed it. Fingers wasn't hardly on my string that time. All right, y'all. I'm going to take a few more shots. Then I'm going to call it good for this video. The main thing is don't give up no matter what. If you're shooting a certain style and you're not getting the results you want, try a different style. There's so many out there that it's not hard to find one that's probably going to fit you like a glove, right? So we'll do 3 more random distance shots. Rabbit, stump, big bag, and then we're going to call it quits. Okay, here we go. Rabbit, miss. Stump, hit the stump, but not the target. Big bag, low, killed a rabbit though. You know, I gotta be honest, I'd like to end it with some good shots, some good bullseye shots, but it's not always going to happen that way. You just got to keep practicing. The cold shot's the most important shot, and the biggest thing to remember, or the biggest thing to get from this video, don't be afraid to take chances. Don't be afraid to use different styles until you find one that fits you or that you feel good with. Practice all of them until you find the one that you're comfortable with, the one that you're accurate with. Study your form. Always practice form. Get up close to your target. Don't start from a distance. You know, you got to take baby steps with archery. If you want to be accurate and successful, take your time, baby steps, learn the fundamentals first, then move up to more advanced style shooting, aiming, hook. There's a lot of different styles out there, and don't be afraid to try them all. But no matter what, don't let any of it get under your skin. Don't sweat it. It's it's no big deal. Just keep shooting until you find what works for you. Start up close. If you're shooting too far back and you're getting frustrated and you think that you're not going to ever get it figured out, you need to squash that idea, because you will get it figured out. Scoot up closer. Get right up on it. Just, maybe 5 feet from it if you have to, from your target. And just keep shooting and keep shooting. Practice that form. Get it locked in. Okay? So no matter what, eventually you're going to hit where you're looking or you're aiming. So you can just keep on keeping on, right? No matter what. Just don't give up. If you're having a hard time and you're thinking that there's no help, there is. There's a million people out there trying to help you. Call 988. If you're a veteran and you need help, call 988, press 1. So you got help right there. All you got to do is pick up your phone, give them a call. You don't want to talk to strangers? That's fine. Most people don't. Call your buddy. Call your brother, your sister, your mom, a family member, your dad. Go to church and talk to your preacher. Talk to somebody that you connected with in the congregation. Talk to God. That is your number one outlet right there. Just telling him your problems will take a lot off your chest. You will feel a lot better just saying one prayer. So don't be afraid. Don't worry about missing. Don't worry about what other people are going to say. Be you, be yourself, stay strong. God loves you. God bless everybody out there. Peace. Holy moly, that arrow went all the way through that board. We got her.